What's crackin', movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's your boy C-Dub, and today we got the android Marc Andreyko taking on the big kahuna Atchity. These are two very high-level, high-knowledge competitors. It should be a really good match. I'm going to go with the android in this one, but it should be a good one, so let's get it started.
So, Andrew, I'll give you Bateman one-on-one on an undercard of a very, very big match that I have just signed.
Schmoedown.
One of the biggest cards in movie trivia Schmoedown history. Andrew Guy versus Ben the Boss Bateman. It would be incredible to get Andrew Guy's best game against Ben Bateman's best game in an Action Army sequel. Chris Jericho takes on Kevin Smith. Chris Jericho wants to play the Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
I'm not messing around. Look up movie trivia Schmoedown.
But I can compete. I love that shit. I'm ready to schmo down. Throw down with the Schmoedown. Who will win? Join us. Subscribe now. YouTube.com/The Schmoedown.
Friday!
Welcome back to the movie trivia Schmoedown. It is the ultimate Schmoedown. I am Christian Harloff with Marc Ellis. Marc, this tournament has been just insane with all of the talent that we have, but man, this match here today, two of the really most knowledgeable, a former champion in the mix here too. This is a solid match between the android Marc Andreyko and the big kahuna Atchity.
Android, Kahuna, and Christian, when you say names like that, they take us all the way back to the very origins of the movie trivia Schmoedown. And now look at us in season, what is this, 18? Not 7, that's what it is. And it just keeps getting stronger, thanks in large part to competitors like these two gentlemen, who not only display a wealth of knowledge, Christian, but also a gamesmanship, a sportsmanship, if you will, and just a fervor for competition. Marc Andreyko certainly knows the ins and the outs of the game. He is passionate. He does not miss a match. Atchity, on the other hand, the guy's got a lot of stuff going on. I can't blame him for that, but he is one of these competitors that I know you love talking about, because you love talking about, oh, he's great at trivia, but does he understand the gameplay enough to advance in the tournament? I think Kahuna is coming in here with something to prove.
He absolutely is. I mean, I've had many conversations with Atchity. The difference between Atchity and other competitors, and Atchity truly loves the Schmoedown. He enjoys the Schmoedown. He enjoys the aspect of the Schmoedown. But the similarity with a player like Whitney Seibold is that he still hasn't learned all the rules of the game just yet, and he's been playing since season 2, and it's been something that has hurt. And he's also a really good person, as evident last year when he won the match, would have been in the finals for the tournament, and challenged his own win, which he probably, at this point, even though it was done for Noble, when you go back to it, well, I'll tell you right now that if Sam Levine was his manager right then, he probably would have jumped on him right before he made the challenge, put a piece of tape on his mouth, and walked out the door, because there's no way Sam Levine's letting you challenge that.
No, I mean, I think that challenging your own question, the only movie comparison I can draw is in The Other Guys, when Derek Jeter actually gets his foot shot by Mark Wahlberg's cop. So I think that you talk about somebody who is clearly above the line when it comes to events that one can call questionable. I think that challenging your own question has got to be up there with, I don't know what to compare it to, Christian. All I know is that I don't think it's going to happen today, because I think that while we have two great competitors taking the field, we have two managers who really love getting the best of each other, and I don't think they're going to let anything stop them, especially something that is going to be a challenge of one's own question.
No, it can't be, and that's why I think Sam Levine is going to be an absolute asset to someone like Matt Atchity, because when the day comes that Matt Atchity learns this game as well as, say, Marc Andreyko, then Matt Atchity is going to hit that potential that we all thought that he would. Marc Andreyko, on the other hand, is already a dangerous player. Marc Andreyko is a former teams champion, but Marc Andreyko during this quarantine has watched every Schmoedown match. He's been very vocal about it on a lot of different shows. He's gone back through all the things, watching Intergeekdom matches, watching everything. He's ready. He wants to be singles champion. It's the one thing in his career that in the Schmoedown career that he's wanted to do, and he hasn't done it yet. He got close, but I know that he wants to do it. So that all is just a bit. We told you the story. Now you can see the story. Here it is.
There are multiple survivors at the end of the Dirty Dozen. I can't in good conscience win that way, not against Drew. I'm going to act ethically. I'm going to, and look like did it cost us the game? Sure, but you know what? That's the way I play.
Atchity, I would talk a lot of crap to you, but sometimes you just go ahead and beat yourself.
We had a challenge issued on that last question for the family by their opponent, Matt Atchity.
In addition to being a really super nice guy, Matt has deep reserves of knowledge. The only issue he's going to have against me is, it took me a while, but I've learned how to play the game.
Marc Andreyko, he is the android. He is one of the best players that we have seen in this league.
Marc Andreyko is possibly the most underrated Schmoedown player of all time. He's brilliant. He's a champion.
Don't get me wrong, Andreyko's a great player. He absolutely is, but he can't compete with the big kahuna.
The guy who sometimes knows the rules and once in a while in a blue moon forfeits a win.
Do I have to ask for the repeat? He's been playing longer than I have, but he still does things like ask for multiple choice in the last round.
The man knows the game. The man is not rusty. I have been working with him, and he is razor sharp.
I've been looking at the rules. I've been reading the rules. I've been memorizing the rules. I know I messed up in the past. I'm losing my accent, dragged out the time. That's not happening anymore, right? I'm me. This is me. I'm not playing on anyone else. I'm not doing some weird thing. This is me.
So, this is it. This is going to be the upset of the tournament.
Let me do you a favor. Let's just knock you out of this tournament so you can get back to doing what you really love, because clearly it's not managing.
I'm one of the few people who's defeated Ethan. I defeated Bateman, Drew McQueenie. I hope you have a really, really strong tiki drink tonight, because after this is over, you're going to need more than one. Go Rockstars.
Andreyko and Roxy, big story here. Roxy really going to be leaning on both Andreyko and Snyder here for the Rockstars, as where Sam Levine needs this big win. Both the Suspects and the Rockstars are they're in trouble right now. When you have teams like Swag and Corruption and the Finstock Exchange all fighting for that #1 spot, teams like the Rockstars and the Usual Suspects need every point that they can get, Mark.
And no one could fault either manager today, Christian, for focusing on the game, sure, but keeping one eye forward on how many points they could possibly rack up with either one of these horses that they're putting onto the battlefield today, because these minds that we're looking at today are capable of making a serious run. Will the gameplay that they have and will the managerial capabilities of their coaches allow them to reach full capacity? And I can only tell you this, Christian, I know there's going to be some sort of moment taken out of here that we're going to remember for all time. Maybe it's the challenge of Wano in question. Maybe it's Marc Andreyko doing something similar to what he did at the very first free-for-all, clearing the table. We're going to get something good today, partner.
Well, we're going to talk to both the managers of the Rockstars, Roxy Stryer, and straight from a sauna, he is Sam Levine. All right, Sam, all cards on the table. It is how hot in your apartment at the moment?
I'm not kidding. It's approaching 100 degrees in my home right now.
Well, look, if you're on the Finstock Exchange, you wouldn't be wearing a shirt, so
I legitimately thought about coming out here with no shirt on. I'm not wearing pants, for that matter.
Fair enough. All right, look, let's get into this thing here, Rox. This is a really big match for you. Andreyko and Snyder would serve as your number one picks in the draft.
Yeah.
And they had a tough teams match. Who's the Boss had to set the record in order to knock them out of the contention. But Andreyko has been studying. Andreyko is ready. How ready is he for today's match?
Really ready. I mean, there's nobody who is handling quarantine in terms of the Schmoedown like Draco. He's been doing a ton of studying flashcards, watching so many movies, and just has a great attitude coming into today. I know this is his game to win, and I'm really excited to watch him play.
Okay, and Sam, by proxy, Matt Atchity is somebody who maybe isn't the most familiar with every in and out in the Schmoedown rulebook, but I know you are. So do you look at today as far as you having to really suit up and lend a helping hand to your competitor?
I mean, Matt and I had a study session a week or so ago, and we very painstakingly went over all the rules, all the ins and outs of the game. I am very confident that he knows about the countdown, the JTE rules, the challenges, not challenging yourself. We talked about that. So I have no worries whatsoever about his ability to play the game as masterfully as I know he is capable of.
Listen, Matt, don't let Sam tell you what to do. If you want to challenge yourself, you challenge yourself. True champions call themselves out all the time. So, if you want to throw in a challenge today, we're not mad at it. It just shows what a real, true competitor you are.
Roxy Stryer throwing in the actual heat that we knew she would. All right, well, congratulations. This is a big match. It's a big match. Good luck to you both, and we'll see you in a moment. All right, Mark. Roxy Stryer, obviously, she's got Sam again when Robert Montano is going up against Snyder. So that we're going to see them again there, and then obviously she's got that big match with Chance Ellison and David Del Rio coming up. So Roxy's got a couple matches here to win some points, but as we saw what Sam did with managing Ethan, it ain't going to be easy. So here it is. Are you ready?
Roxy looks fired up, and she's got Central AC. Sam Levine, hot as can be. He shouldn't have brought all those cold, frosty beverages to my place, because then he could be cooling himself off right now. Short sight on his part. I think that's the last time I'm going to say that about Sam Levine in today's match. Enough with the managers, Christian. Let's meet our competitors.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown.
Yeah!
Introducing first, representing the Usual Suspects, with a record of 0 wins, 1 defeat in the singles division. He is the Big Kahuna, Matt Atchity. Perfect setting. I'm going to believe that you are in Hawaii. That's what I'm going to believe.
I'm in my element. As I said, lush greenery, I'm all set.
You really look like, you look so knowledgeable right now, yet so relaxed. You look like the dude.
The dude abides.
I love it. Matt, I got to ask you, because this is the first thing on the table here. We've mentioned it. We've heard this about you. You've been playing since season 2. As recently, in the 3rd round, you asked for multiple choice. You challenged your own win. Do you think that you have been your own worst enemy when it's come to this game?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, have I messed up on rules before? Sure. I still stand by my challenge from that last game. I want to win clean, not because somebody misunderstood a question. So on that one, I don't think that's a loss of the rules. But I've been studying. I've got a great manager. I know the rules. I know the strategies. I've been working a lot. This is my workout gear. I'm battle ready.
Matt, we see so many competitors, and they have a unique pre-game ritual that they all use to get into their preferred mental headspace. For some, they do a lot of jump rope and push-ups. For others, they just focus and zone in. And then for someone like you, it just seems like you almost go into some sort of a Zen state. What exactly How would you describe the feeling you have right now before the match?
Inebriate? No. Look, like, those of us that do this, we do this because we love movies, right? I have the career I have because I love going to movies. So I spend the day thinking about movies, and I'll look at old stuff, and I'll look at new stuff, and I'll just kind of like, think about things I may not know off the top of my head and study and try and get those neurons firing. I mean, I'm a little older than maybe many of the competitors, but I feel charged. I feel energized. I feel like I'm ready to bust out some answers.
All right, Matt. Well, good luck to you. It's a big match. Of course, the winner of this going on to play the kid, Brendan Meyer. Going to put you in the waiting room here. And his opponent, representing the Rockstars, with a record of 6 wins, 6 defeats, and 1 knockout. He is the former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Teams Champion of the World, the Android, Marc Andreyko. Oh, hi guys. Didn't know we were here, huh? We were here, yeah. Hey. Listen, Marc, this is a big tournament for you because over the last, at one point in, I think it was season 2018, after you had that just rolling run in both singles and teams, and obviously in the singles, you did pretty well, and then you wound up losing the #1 contender shot with Dan Merle in that tournament. But I remember after that match, you came up to me and you said, "That's it. I'm taking off from singles for a while. It's just too much." And then the beginning of this year, you decided you were coming back. What was the reason to come back and make your run in singles?
Just Bateman being smug. I was like, okay, somebody needs to put the kids back at the kids' table and let the adults play the game.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, Marc, not a lot of words necessary for some of these questions, and maybe this is another one coming at you. I asked Matt Atchity about his pre-show ritual, and he seems very relaxed. I know you usually have a slow pulse. You don't tend to get fazed by the bright lights. Is there any sort of pump-up ritual you have right before you take the stage?
Actually, I go the other way. I try to be calm and chill and take a walk and just clear my head. I get agitated enough once the game starts, so I try to be uber calm beforehand. And as far as this goes, I'm just glad to be interacting with human beings because we've all been in our houses for half a year already. So, whatever happens, as long as I don't lose by too much, I consider it a win. And so, as long as we're entertaining, it's a good thing.
All right, well, Marc Andreyko, everybody. I'm going to move him over a second, bring back Matt Atchity. There is Marc Andreyko, former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Teams champ. And now we get to the rules, Marc, of round number 1.
That's right, gentlemen. In round number 1, it's going to feel like a normal movie trivia Schmoedown match, except the stakes are much higher because this is the tournament format. So, 8 questions will be asked to the field in round number 1. As soon as you think you know it, please write down your best attempt on whatever writing surface you provided yourself with, whatever utensil you have handy. You have about 15 seconds to do so. Once we ask you by name to reveal your answer, please show what you wrote to the camera at the same time you verbalize your answer into the microphone. Each question is worth 1 point. There is no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing, at least not in round number 1. You each have 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. If you're not sure you heard a question right, you want to buy yourself another 15 seconds, use a JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used at any point throughout the 3-round match. You may initiate the challenge, and then your manager will come in. It is your manager's job to ultimately confirm and ratify that the challenge is taking place. Christian, I think we got new high school senior quote material from Marc Andreyko saying, hey, as long as you don't lose by too much, you win.
The Android, are you ready? Kahuna, are you ready?
Aloha.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown! Round number 1, question number 1 in the realm of action/adventure. Who directed the 2010 film, The Expendables?
I really like that quote, Christian. If you lose by, 8, come on, you still won.
I guess.
Sylvester Stallone.
Means I'm undefeated.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Mark.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yes. Atchity?
Sly Stallone.
Yep. We have 1-1. 1-1. And our next question, Mark.
And what a great job he did with that movie. Your next question is in the world of crime movies, crime film. Your question: what two actors played the titular duo in 1967's Bonnie and Clyde? Christian, I'm sure you remember this, but I'll ask you anyway. Who was our special guest for the Expendables review?
Arnold. 5, 4, 3. Repeat the question for Mark Andreyko. Go ahead.
All right. The question in the world of crime movies: what two actors played the titular duo in 1967, Bonnie and Clyde? The answer is Roddy Piper, Christian.
Steve McQueen
That's
and
right.
Robert Redford?
Yeah. Got to go to his house, film it. It was awesome.
That's right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Atchity.
Faye Dunaway, Warren Beatty.
Yes, sir. And Mark Andreyko.
And the Oscar goes to La La Land. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway.
Yes, absolutely. All right, next question. Here it is. Question number 3. Dramas. What famous actor was the director of 1994's quiz show?
I think I might start doing that from now on too. So call them directors.
Director. I did that. I knew you were going to comment on that too. You know that? That's how well I know you. The second I said it, I said he's going to comment on this. 5,
I'm your wife.
What about Quiz Shoe?
2, 1. Pens down, please. And Mark Andreyko.
Robert Redford.
Yes. Atchity.
Roberto Redfordo.
Yes. And we have a 3-3 game. 3-3 game. Next question, Mark.
That's right. It's in the category of 90s movie. 1990s movies. And your question: who played the title character in 1997's George of the Jungle?
Oh.
Great Weird Al Yankovic tune. That's right. Favorite Weird Al song, Christian? Yo, 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 yo.
5, 4, 3,
Brendan
2,
Fraser.
1. Pens down. Matt?
JTE rule.
No, time ran out.
Oh.
Time ran out. So who'd you have?
Then I have Brendan somebody.
That does not work. Andreyko?
Brendan Fraser.
Brandon Fraser is correct. So 1 point. 1 point. Got to get those JTE rule requests in before the countdown runs out. All right. So here's the next question. Fantasy sci-fi. Which MCU actor plays James Conrad, leader of an expedition in Kong, Skull Island?
You got that big battle. You got Kong, Godzilla.
It's a ship.
Tom
They're gonna
Hiddleston?
team up with each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. Pens down, hands up. And we start with Mark Andreyko.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes. And Matt Atchity.
Oh, it is not Samuel L. Jackson.
It is not. So Mark Andreyko goes up by 2 here. 5-3. 5-3 as we get to our next question. Number 6, Mark.
That's right. Matt Atchity could use a correct answer here, and the category is comedies. The question: what 2000 spoof movie stars Anna Faris and Marlon Wayans?
Scary movie.
Headers right down. Some of the things I miss about the live shows. That laughter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Matt Atchity.
Scary movie.
Yes. And Mark Andreyko.
The original title for Scream. Scary movie.
Correct. Extra point. Just kidding. 6-4. 6-4. As we get to question number 7. Horror/thriller. Anthony LaPaglia plays a doll maker named Samuel Mullins, whose daughter, nicknamed B, dies when she accidentally steps in front of a car in what 2017 film?
I had no idea that Scream was originally going to be called Scary Movie. That's fun.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah?
I might have forgotten it. I knew a lot of stuff that I used to know.
5, 4.
It's all gone.
2.
Repeat the question.
All right, Mark Andreyko, second one. Anthony LaPaglia plays a doll maker named Samuel Mullins, whose daughter, nicknamed B, dies when she accidentally steps in front of a car in what 2017 film?
Annabelle Comes
Second
Home.
one.
Doing a Scream 5?
Yeah, I heard that. And there's going to be some people coming back. So.
Oh, you sound thrilled.
Yeah, let it go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Mark Andreyko.
Annabelle Creation?
That's right. Mark and Atchity?
Oh, so it's not just Annabelle, I guess.
It is not. So Annabelle Creation. So we were looking for Annabelle Creation, and we see ourselves now. Mark Andreyko is a point away from a perfect round here, 7-4. 7-4. If Mark Andreyko gets this correct, then he and only he will have the bonus question mark.
All right, but standing in his way is the category of animated movies. Gentlemen, your question in the world of films drawn by hand or on a computer. Who provides the voice of Gomez Addams in 2019's The Addams Family? All right, Christian, you want to do the music or the snaps?
Jason Segel?
5,
You need to give me time.
3, 2, 1. Pens down, and Matt Atchity.
Oscar Isaac.
That is correct. And Mark Andreyko.
Oscar Isaac.
Perfect round for Mark Andreyko. Sees himself 8-5. So, Mark, this question here, Mark Andreyko, this question here is for you and only you. You do not have to write it down. You just have to answer it. So, are you ready?
Sure.
Here it is. Who plays Roger Dearly in the 1996 live-action adaptation of 101 Dalmatians?
Jeff Daniels.
That's correct for 1 point. Mark Andreyko, massive round there, 9 points. 9 points as he sees himself with a lead here. And we get ourselves to round number 2. Mark, how does it go?
Round number 2 works as somebody get a pack of ice over to Casa de Levine. Round number 2 works like this. It's the wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and ultimately justice each and every time. It's a virtual wheel. We obviously don't have a wheel to bring to your houses. So you get a spin with your mind, and once we settle on a category, you're going to have 4 questions in said genre of movie trivia Schmoedown know-how. Each question's worth 2 points. No penalty for missing a question. However, stealing is available in round number 2. So we ask you a question, you're not sure of the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. So, Christian, like you said, Mark Andreyko enjoying now, because of that bonus round question, a 9-5, just like the movie, lead over Matt Atchity. So, Mr. Andreyko, you may now consult with your manager, Roxy Stryer, for 60 seconds to determine whether you'd like to spin first or defer to your Hawaiian opponent.
All right, gonna remove both the guys.
So proud of you right now. You're crushing it. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm glad that you used those JTs, because when you use them, you got them right, and you're just awesome. So I'm going to listen to you. What do you feel like doing? Spinning first?
I feel like going first and keep the momentum going, because even if I the bed and only get 4 points, I'm still ahead of him by a lot, and it puts him in a bad place. So
yeah, I agree.
Poop the bed, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We have a team 4, so yeah, we don't want you to crap the bed. But not that you ever would, but I agree we should spin first. You got the hot hand right now, so let's take it. Awesome. You're amazing, Mark. And your eyes look killer. It's not the important thing, but just so you know. Continue.
I have a lighting guy right over here.
So let's get that wheel up there. The wheel is... And here is the first spin by Mark Andreyko.
Here we go, Mark. I need the good karma. Good rock star karma coming this way. I can feel it.
All right, spin is in, and it's going to settle on fantasy sci-fi. How do you feel about that one?
Here we go around again.
Not even using the 60 seconds. All right, here it is.
We don't want that steal on that one either.
Fantasy sci-fi, spinning away from it.
Andreyko, his main goal is to not turd the sleeping bag.
Winner's choice. So, 50
Okay,
seconds.
how are you feeling? What do you think?
I think 80s.
I think 80s too. That's exactly where my gut was. I think you got this. Take your time. You got one JTE left. Go to multiple choice if you need it, but if you feel confident, you got this. Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah.
So Matt only gets the questions if I miss them after this is done, right?
Same way we do it.
Yep, exact same way. But you're not going to miss them, so don't even put that in your head right now. You got this, Draco. You're up by a lot, so take your time. If you have to go to multiple choice, just go there, and you're doing an amazing job. Way to go, Mark.
All right.
Mark.
All right, so we're going to drop you out there, Rox. Going to bring back Matt Atchity. All right, so Marc Andreyko is going to have 4 questions in the realm of the 1980s. The 1980s. All right, here you go. Marc Andreyko, are you ready?
I am.
All right, fellas, let's make sure we can see those tiny digits so they're not asking Jeeves anything. Well done.
That's right. Hands up, hands up. Here we go. All right. In the film Popeye and Olive Oyl have to take care of a young infant that they call what?
Sweet pea.
Yes, 2 points. All right. Throughout the film Empire of the Sun, Jim manages to hold on to 2 objects through his perils: his toy plane and what else?
Oh, definitely multiple choice.
Is it A, a cufflink, B, a hat, C, a coin, D, a watch?
I'll say D, a watch.
It's incorrect. Matt Atchity for the steal. Throughout the film,
C.
So let me finish.
C, a coin. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Throughout the film Empire of the Sun, Jim manages to hold on to 2 objects throughout his perils: his toy plane and what else? A, a cufflink, B, a hat, C, a coin, or D, a watch?
C, a coin.
That's correct for 1 point. 1
Big
point.
steal.
Big steal. And we get to our next question here for Marc Andreyko. All right, Mark. Who plays the character of Soda Pop Curtis, who was one of Ponyboy's brothers in 1983's The Outsiders?
Ralph Macchio?
It's incorrect. For the steal, who plays Soda Pop Curtis, one of Ponyboy's brothers in 1983's The Outsiders?
Thomas Howell.
I don't get a multiple choice for this, do I?
Wait, what did you say, Marc Andreyko?
I said Ralph Macchio.
Okay, yeah, right. That is incorrect. All right.
Yeah, Matt, no multiple choice for you.
And it's running right now. The clock.
Matt Dillon.
It's incorrect. Looking for Rob Lowe. So no steal there, but Marc Andreyko now has 1 question left. 1 question left. And here it is. All right. In 1984's The Karate Kid, what is the name of the sensei at Cobra Kai? I need the first and last name.
John Kreese. John Kreese. John Kreese.
5, 4.
Repeat the question.
That's your last one, and here it is. All right. So,
Yeah,
in 1984's The Karate Kid, what is the name of the sensei at Cobra Kai? First and last name.
The first and last name?
John
Yes.
Kreese.
I know the actor and I know the last name. I know the first name. I know it's Kreese. So I
5.
go multiple choice.
Yep, multiple choice. Here it is. Multiple choice is A, Terry Silver, B, John Kreese, C, Mike Barn, D, Paul Dugan. Go with B, John Kreese. That's correct. 1 point. All right, so Marc Andreyko fights his way through. He still has a 6-point lead here in the second round. So 12-6, and now we're going to drop out Marc Andreyko, bring back Sam Levine. Sam, you got 60 seconds now.
Okay, Matt, that was great. He went first and had spinner's choice and picked his category and did not crush it, and that's great for us. So, you know, let's spin the wheel, man. Let's see what we get. Remember, unless you go multiple choice, he's not going to hear multiple choice if you miss it. So keep that in mind.
Got it.
And yeah, man, I feel real good about this. 6 points is nothing.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little thrown off because I could have sworn I said that JTE rule. I think there was a sound lag, but
I think there was a lag too, and I wanted to challenge it, but it's okay. It's in the past. We got to move on.
okay. All right.
Look at that wheel.
All right, here's the wheel, and here's the spin.
That was a good spin, man.
All right, big opportunity for Matt Atchity, Christian. He can actually have the lead going into round 3.
Yeah, which would be big for him. And he gets directors. Directors, 60 seconds to decide if you want director.
What do you think? Do you think there's other stuff on that wheel without saying it out loud that you'd rather get?
I feel like at the very least I could hit a multiple choice if I needed to on this one.
On directors, you feel that good, or would
On
you?
directors. Yeah, no, I feel good on this one. Yeah.
Okay, man. If you feel good, then I feel
Because
good.
if it's not something right off the bat, then I can go to multiple choice and nail it that way.
Okay, do not be afraid to go to multiple choice, and remember, you still have all 3 JTE rules, so use them if you need them.
All right.
All right.
We're going to remove Sam Levine here. We're going to bring back Marc Andreyko. All right, Matt Atchity, 4 questions in that realm. So let's see. Do you, Marc, you ready?
Oh, I'm pumped.
Here we go.
I get it. Okay. Your category,
Score is
Matt Atchity.
12-6.
The score at the moment, yes, is 11-6. Oh, no, 12-6. 12-6.
Okay.
12-6.
Okay.
12-6. Okay, here it is, 12-6.
All right, Matt Atchity, you have spun the category of directors. And your first question of 4 for 2 points, unless you want to go to multiple choice. How many times has Ron Perlman been directed by Guillermo del Toro? Give you
4.
20 seconds.
4. Alright. Believe it's 4. No. Yeah. 4. Hellboy 2, Blade 2, Pacific Rim. I say 4.
5.
Can I get a multiple choice, please?
Certainly can. Is it A3, B4, C5, or D6?
I say 4.
A3.
That is incorrect. Marc Andreyko, you have an opportunity for a steal. I'm going to repeat the question and the options before you wager your guess. In the category of directors, how many times has Ron Perlman been directed by Guillermo del Toro? Is it A3, B4, C5, or D6? Incorrect, looking for 5. You got Kronos, Blade 2, Hellboy 2, and of course Pacific Rim.
All right, well, next
How is
question.
that movie?
Next question, Marc.
All right, Matt Atchity, this is to you for 2 points. Which Harry Potter franchise director also helmed the film The Legend of Tarzan?
It's not David Yates.
Multiple choice,
Pretty sure it's not
please.
Chris
All right.
Columbus.
Is it A, David Yates, B, Mike Newell,
I go
C,
Mike
Chris
Newell.
Columbus, or D, Alfonso
Mike Newell.
Cuarón?
I'm going to go with B, Mike Newell.
That is incorrect. So another opportunity for a steal here, Marc
Alfonso
Andreyko.
Cuarón?
David Yates.
Which Harry Potter director also helmed the film The Legend of Tarzan? And the question, options, is it A, David Yates, B, Mike Newell, C, Chris Columbus, or D, Alfonso Cuarón?
David Yates.
That is a steal for 1 point, and what a huge steal that could be, Christian.
Yeah, he got himself back. There he lost the point. In the last round, he got one of those points back. So now he's up by 7 as we get to Atchity's third.
That's right, Matt Atchity, your penultimate question in the category of directors. Who directed the film Twin Peaks: Fire Walk With Me?
Ah.
David Lynch.
That is 2 points for Matt Atchity, Christian.
That is indeed. All right, so now Matt Atchity has a chance to get himself within 3 if he can hit this last question here, Marc.
All right, Matt, and that question is for 2 points. What 1981 romantic thriller was the debut feature of director Lawrence Kasdan?
Five, four.
God, I want to say body heat. Can I get a multiple choice, please?
Multiple
Yes, you
choice.
can. Is it A, Dress to Kill, B, Body Heat, C, The Postman Always Rings Twice,
Body
or
Heat?
D,
You
Absence of
already said
Malice?
B, body heat.
Something your manager is currently going through? That is correct for another point.
Had he trusted his guts there, he would have had a 3-point deficit. Now it's 4, but still, very winnable game here. 13-9. 13-9 going into the third and final round. Mark, how does the third round go?
Round number 3, this is the round that will determine the outcome of the match unless we go to sudden death overtime. Don't worry, we're prepared. In round number 3, each competitor is going to give us 3 numbers. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. Each number corresponds to a different corner of movie, trivia, Schmoedown goodness. Your first question here is worth 2 points. Next one's worth 3 points. The last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 big points. Quick note, you cannot choose the same number as your opponent, and because Marc Andreyko still has a 4-point lead over his competitor, Matt Atchity, Mark, you're going to give us your 3 lucky numbers from 1 to 20 first. What feels fortunate?
5, 7, and 11.
5,
Best
7.
number I ever heard.
5, 7, and 11.
5, 7, and 11. You heard
Alright.
that right, Mark. 5, 7, and 11. Don't forget it. Those are the best numbers.
For Atchity,
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2.
Those numbers are awful. First are the worst.
I think
second is
they're
the
great
best.
numbers. Your
Third
numbers
is
are
the one
awful,
who got to
Roxy.
get dressed. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Your numbers all just get along.
I don't think so.
Your numbers are awful.
So we are
Not
going
with numbers like that.
quiet now. 60 seconds, Roxy. You got to talk to Andreyko starting now.
Mark, you and I definitely can get along because your round 1, you had a perfect round. Let's get back that energy. Round 2, both sides. Not a cute round. We're skipping right past it. We've got round 3 right now. You're up by 4 points. This is absolutely your game. Stay calm. You've got this. Somewhere inside you is the knowledge and is the answer to each one of these questions. I know that because you're one of the most knowledgeable people in this entire game. So give yourself the time that you need. How are you feeling, okay?
Do I have 1 JT rule or none?
You have none left.
You've used all of your JTEs, but that doesn't matter. Just count it down to the end of the clock and you're fine. You've got this. You can pull these. I know that you can. So make sure you hit a couple of these out of these 3. You only got to hit a couple and you'll be fine.
All right. So Roxy is done there. Sam.
Matt, that was great, man. We wound up, like Roxy said, it wasn't, a stellar round 2 for either player, but that's great because the 4-point differential between round 1 remained after round 2, which is perfect. No, that's exactly where you want to be because Mark is going to miss his 5-pointer, and that's where you're going to win the game. It's that simple. So he's going to miss his. You hit yours,
confusing me with yourself,
the drinks are on me.
All right. So there's some talk from the former champ and former champs actually going after each other. Good to see. All right.
He's obviously suffering heat stroke.
All right. Well, we're gonna remove Sam. Rock. Oops. And now, because we're trying to avoid the TKO here for Mr. Matt Atchity, Matt, you're gonna be going first, and your category was category 1. Category 1, dance films. Dance films for
I like that
category
category.
number 1. Here it is. 2-pointer. This 2001 film about a ballerina who moves to an
Save
urban
the
Chicago
Last
neighborhood
Dance.
stars Julia Stiles and Sean Patrick Thomas.
Save the Last Dance.
Five, four, three,
JTE rule, please.
okay. This 2001 film about a ballerina who moves to an urban Chicago neighborhood stars Julia Stiles and Sean Patrick Thomas.
Save the Last Dance.
Five, four, three, two, one. Nothing.
I don't have it.
Looking for Save the Last Dance. Save the Last Dance.
That's a big miss, Christian, because now Matt Atchity is going to have to get his 3-pointer. If he doesn't get that, he still can take a lead with his 5-pointer, but there's only going to be a 1-point lead.
He needs this 3, and here it is, category 2. That would be crime films. Mr. Atchity, crime films. Here you go. What 1996 film, starring Brad Pitt and Kevin Bacon, follows a group of friends who were in a boys' center and 13 years later, after being let out, put on trial for killing the head guard in a pub?
God, it's not.
5, 4.
JT rule, please.
All right, here it is. In what 1996 film stars Brad Pitt and Kevin Bacon following a group of friends who were in a boys' center and 13 years later, after being let out, are put on trial for killing the head guard in a pub?
I have no idea. None.
Oh, God, I can see the poster.
5, 4, 3.
This isn't it, but it's all I can think is
One.
clockers.
Looking for sleepers. All right, so we are actually down to this now. Matt Atchity has to hit his 5-pointer. If he hits it, it bounces back to Marc Andreyko. However, if he misses it, then the Rockstars and Marc Andreyko will pick up 4 big points with a TKO victory. Here is the question. Category 3. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt movies. Here it is. Who plays the youngest Ludlow child, Samuel, in Legends of the Fall?
Never seen it. Legends of the Fall.
Henry Thomas.
That's correct. So, Matt Atchity,
I didn't hear it. There was a lag. What did he say?
Henry Thomas.
Okay.
So it bounces back to Matt Atchity now. Matt Atchity avoids the TKO. Marc Andreyko, however, just needs to hit one question. One question, and they will win the game, whether it's the 2, the 3, or the 5. All right, here we go. Mark, he chose category number 5.
He did, Christian, and the nickel category corresponds to the wonderful world of Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
All right. Marc Andreyko, these questions are about Drew Barrymore films, not her personal life. Your question?
No, then I defer.
For 2 points and the win. Who plays Drew Barrymore's co-lead in
Jimmy
Fever
Fallon.
Pitch?
All right, Jimmy Fallon.
And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, the android, Marc Andreyko. All right, Matt, I'm going to put you in the waiting room at the moment. We'll bring you back in just a moment. Roxy, this is a win. This is a big win. I mean, obviously, you still have Del Rio and Chance coming up. You still got Snyder coming up. But having one of the big dogs here take their first match and almost doing it with a TKO after having an okay round 2. How are you feeling?
Honestly, I didn't want to say this to Draco beforehand, but we needed this. This was a 100% we have to win this in order to move forward, because the Rockstars have had some crap rounds this year, and Draco, I know I can always count on you to really bring it home when you have to, and you did here. Was this the cutest game I've ever seen? No, but honestly, I feel really good going into round 2 of this tournament, and Draco, I think that you could win this entire tournament. I really do. You're that good.
Yeah, Mark, I think your manager brings up a good point where this was not a offensive fueled game. This was a defensive struggle at times, especially in round number 2. You get spinner's choice, you go to the 1980s. Where do you think you can improve upon just your strategy when selecting your round 2 wheel slice if you're fortunate enough to get spinner's choice?
I think this was the first match I've played in the digital age. I mean, we did the horror exhibition match, but that was a little bit faster and looser. So just getting back into the scheme of things, I knew this was going to be a pretty tight match, because Matt is... I wish Matt thought he was as good as Matt really is, because Matt's super, super smart, and that Henry Thomas pull was a good pull. I knew it, and then there was a glitch, so when Christian said, "You got it," I was like, wait a minute, I didn't hear it. But yeah, I mean, it's just getting back in the scheme of things, so I'm glad we've got this tournament up, because I think everyone's matches will get better once we, get off our couches and are allowed to get our fighting shape again. But it was a fun match. It wasn't pretty, but ultimately it was close, so I think it was entertaining.
No, it was definitely entertaining. There's no doubt about it. Now, the other thing I was going to ask you, though, Andreyko, is because round number 2, you're going to see yourself face-to-face with the kid. I don't believe you guys have ever competed. I think you have in teams against Shazam, but I don't think you've ever done one-on-one here. So I know you've been impressed with the kid. So how do you prepare going into this match in the next round?
Study the things he likes, because he's really, really, really good. There's some strategy that can be used against him. I'm not going to go into it here. I'll talk about it with Roxy off camera. But with someone like with the caliber of players we have in this tournament, it's all about staying calm, staying aware, and hoping for the best. Because the thing that will decide a lot of these matches is the wheel. Is that wheel slice. If you get a good one, if you don't, that can stop momentum, that can increase momentum, and that's all up to the hands of fate, and that's what makes this so much fun and so terrifying. But that being said, it's the kid's match to lose. I think he's probably the favorite in it, deservedly so. But I look forward to playing because
I thought you meant the opposite. No, it's your match to lose, Draco. There's no way. He's a kid. He gets so shook. Don't say it. There's never a match, Draco, where you are not, at least shouldn't be in conversation to be the favorite person.
I think it's close, but I think it's close. I think it's going to be a fun. I'm nervous and excited to play it because I think that one's going to be a barn burner.
I couldn't be more excited to play him because he is somebody I love to mess with. That kid, you get in his head and he can't hang. He just can't.
Well, congratulations, Roxy. Big win for the Rockstars here today. Marc and Andreyko. I want to bring in Sam Levine before he melts into the floor, so let's...
do we get to come back? Because I would love to be able to thank Matt for the matches.
You have to do it.
Too nice. He was mean to you. Remember that? Don't forget what he said to you, Marc.
You need to hang out with Snyder tomorrow. Here we go. So we're going to remove them for a moment and bring back poor Sam Levine and Mr. Matt Atchity. Matt, look, you can tell you definitely have been studying up on the game. There's no doubt about it. But you have that match. How you feeling?
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad. I got in my own head after getting told I couldn't use that JTE rule and was afraid to use it again and just couldn't get out of my own head.
Sam, gotta be
Matt, you're being way too hard on yourself, man. You gotta shake that off. Honestly, I think the clock did run out. I mean, again, there's a lag. It's not the same for everyone, so it would have been really hard to challenge that. So I don't think we would have won anything challenging it. Beyond that, the only slip-up was a totally harmless one where you asked if you could get multiple choice on a steal that didn't have it to begin with. That's it, man. Don't beat yourself up over stuff like that.
I know. It's not. It's more just like in the moment. Like it made me. My strategy then. Like it. I was too worried about timing then, and like I got too worried about not having my gameplay right to then focus on answers. So,
I hear you, man.
Maybe I'm better off focusing on just the info and not worrying about the gameplay.
Well, Sam, let's talk about the info that your team is going to have to be equipped with going forward. Your faction, the usual suspects, they're in need of some W's. They're in need of acquiring some points. So where do you look to be... be the stalwart, to be the real rock for your team going forward in this tournament?
There are a couple of Miami Marlins players who are on COVID watch, but I think they're all fine. And I'm going to emergency draft most of those guys. Most of those guys are designated for assignments. I can just pick them up pretty much with a phone call. I am heat stroking out. The room is spinning.
You get out of here. Go take care of yourself and go stand outside.
I'm 5 minutes away, so you want to come to some Central AC, chill for a little bit? You got a dog you can hang out with?
No, it's fine. I got to go hit the gym anyway. I got to get some. I got to get on that bike. No, to answer your question honestly, look, I don't want to take anything away from Matt. He played a great game, okay? He missed a couple of questions, and he's beating himself up over that because I know he knew them. He knows he knew them. And look, the digital sphere playing the Schmoedown this way is easier for some people and harder for others. And, you know, sometimes there's a lag, sometimes it gets to you. And this was his first digital match. So I'm not going to hold it against the guy. I hope no one else does. Where do we go from here? There's other matches. Robert Montano is playing Jeff Snyder in a first-round matchup. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Ethan. But I don't want to talk about those guys. I want to talk about Matt Atchity right now, and I'm really damn proud of the guy. I think he came and he played a great game. Okay, yeah, we didn't win today, but that's okay because I know he is of championship caliber. Body heat? Okay? He knew it, but he was doubting himself because he was in his own head. But he absolutely knew that. So I am proud of the guy, and I can't wait to get another match for him.
Well, and the last question here for you, Matt, is that one of the things that I've seen you thrive in, obviously your career over the Schmoedown, whether it's with Alonzo or whether it was with Gray or whoever you were partnered with, you're really good in teams. Do you feel that the teams division is something that you want to stick in? Do you want to still stand with singles? How you feeling?
You know, I'm up for all of it, right? I mean, I think, look, like, this is what, my second singles match, you know, so it definitely does have a different rhythm. It requires a different level of, you know, some of it, like, yes, I feel like there's less pressure if I've got a teammate sometimes, right? Only if just because when it comes to, even without a manager. But the other thing is, like, I've never had a manager before. This is the first time I had a manager. So, you know, it does open possibilities to me. I mean, look, like, I would love to come back on both a teams match and a singles match. I mean, look, like, in my heart of hearts, I'd love to be the first person that ever gets all 3 belts.
Well, there you go. So look, Matt Atchity, still, obviously, he's got that heart of a champion, and you know you're going to see him back. He's been around since season 2, and he's one of the most knowledgeable players that we have, ladies and gentlemen. The big Kahuna, Matt Atchity, the inglorious one, Sam Levine. Sorry about today, guys, but hell of a match. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. All right. Removing both Sam. Let's hope Sam's going to run off, disconnect himself, and jump in a pool, even if it's not his own. All right. So, Mark, look, this was something where Andreyko started out, looked like, oh, here comes the android, but it was anybody's game in that round 2. It was anybody's game, and actually started to climb back, and he just, you know, like he said, he got inside of his own head with the gameplay, and it is, you know, it is what it is, but he hit that 5-pointer. He hit that big 5-pointer at the end, that Henry Thomas there, that kept him in because he stole away that extra point that the Rockstars needed. The Rockstars needed those 4 points, and actually said, "No, you're going to beat me. You're not TKOing me. You're gonna beat me." And so that's exactly what he did. He hit that 5, and Andreyko takes the win.
What we just witnessed here, Christian, it was a knockdown, drag-out, slobber knocker. It was certainly prettier than the ugly logo that your hat shows, but it was not a gorgeous match to look at. But those are the kind of matches you need to get experience in. You need to get reps with, being in between rounds and learning how to handle that pressure. And ultimately, I think Marc Andreyko comes out of this match and goes into his next one a lot more confident, a lot more prepared for what a tournament vibe is like. Because when you get a win, you celebrate for about 5 minutes, and then it's right back to preparing for the next matchup. I think the android is already gearing up for the next round.
Oh yeah, you know he's going to be looking at the kid matches tonight. So that's how it is. He wants to play. He wants to be the best. He wants the championship. He wants that singles championship. And he's been in this game since season 3. He has gotten that close, and it's been against Bibiani. You better bet your butt that he's looking at. He wants to play Bibiani. He's hoping that he can get to Bateman somewhere down the line after this tournament. There's so many matches that Andreyko wants to play, but it's just such a path this year with all the talent that's in the tournament. And you saw that today because Matt Atchity and Marc Andreyko, it was like a dirty street fight, but it was a really good fight though. And it was one of those matches. It was a scrap, and it was entertaining from the beginning. The first round, their punch, the Andreyko was like like the boxer that was doing the tactical ride, but Atchity made him fight in the middle of the street. Then they started using bottles and scratching each other's eyes, and we have the final match there. Points are Mr. Marc Andreyko with the victory, as you see the score there, ladies and gentlemen, 15-14.
Yeah, I'm not letting you get away with this, all right? I'm not letting you compare this great match we just know what you're doing right now. You can't mute me. I'm your co-host, damn it. I will have this dog bite in your face if you don't listen to what I'm telling you. This was not Rocky 5, okay? This was Rocky 3, if anything. This is Rocky 2. This is chasing chickens around. This is feeling like a Kentucky Fried Indian at moments, but ultimately getting a victory for Marc Andreyko. And if you needed any more evidence as to how much this victory meant for the Rockstars, look at how happy Roxy Stryer is in the private chat right now. I wish I could publish this stuff. I took an oath. It's Hippocratic. I cannot, but she's slinging some dirt, and she is very excited about the next round here, Christian. And so sometimes these matches end up a defensive struggle, what we saw today. Sometimes it's a high-scoring affair, and all the time you can enjoy a thorough match of movie trivia know-how. Check us out wherever you enjoy your podcast. Apple Podcasts is a great place to start. Rate, review, all that good stuff. And join the Facebook group if you haven't already. Constant, great discussion going on there about all things Schmoedown.
Yeah, and you have a lot. Listen to these matches. We're just starting off here. We're just starting off. I'm the big teams title match this past weekend. Well, this was the first match of the week in the tournament. Tomorrow, Tim Franco versus Tom. That is going to be a clash. And then, really big one here, Mike Kalinowski taking on Perry Nemiroff. He decided to not go up against Guy and entering into the tournament against Scary Perry Nemiroff, making a return. And then on Thursday, Chance Ellison versus David Del Rio. And we end the week on Friday with the big double main event. Ben Bateman for the #1 contender shot against Andrew Guy. And in the main event, Kevin Smith for the Mercs and the Rockstars at it again with Chris Jericho this Friday. So take a watch, guys. What a match. What a week of matches we have, Mark.
That's right, Christian. It's going to be one scintillating week of movie trivia combat, and I can't wait to call the action alongside you, partner. So for everybody here at the Schmoedown, a huge hand to all of our behind-the-scenes tech crew, all the writers working so hard for it. Great show of class, of competition, and ultimately of cinematic know-how by both Matt Atchity, Marc Andreyko, and their respective managers, Sam Levine and Roxy Stryer.
All right, for Mark Ellis, I am Christian Harloff, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, it was a fun and entertaining match. They kind of struggled in round 2. Andreyko had a perfect first round, which was really impressive, and he pretty much kind of coasted the victory. I mean, Atchity had a great pull on his 5, made Andreyko answer his 2, but he nailed it to get the win. I mean, how can you not root for both of these guys? They're both just good people. But yeah, this was fun. If you like my reactions, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Christopher Woodburn. You can find me on Twitter, Chris Woodburn83, Facebook, Christopher Michael Woodburn. So until next time, it's your boy C-Dub. Peace.